Thank you. I'm more prepared now to give a positional statement on that point of clarification. I'm an employer and I'm a landlord. I left San Francisco 30 years ago as a homeless individual. You know, every year I hear continuous attacks on property owners and business owners to levy more income out of them as though they don't pay a fair share of their net worth back into programs. Okay, there is a continuous buildup of programs, and us and the income earners are the ones who predominantly pay that, because you can't pay a tax unless you have an income to pay it with. So, and then that is constantly why I'm attacking these things when they want to come after business income and property. Because, and I'm just going to give you an example of my gross income for last year and what I actually took home from that gross income. Now, I only have a small shop. Okay, I'm not these multi-million-dollar business. I just have an auto repair and smog shop. So last year I grossed $180,000. I know, shed a tear, right? Out of that $180,000, I took home $40,000. And out of the $40,000, I made my house payment. You know, and yet you want us to continue having consideration where there's going to come a point where there's not going to be much left to take. And then when that happens, it's going to, well, I don't even know how it would be a welfare state then, because there won't be the income to draw from. So my position is until the finance equity part of this is figured out, I'm not supporting any of it. When what we could be doing is looking at a lot of the governmental programs that we already provide and look at ways of prioritizing what's important and what is not important. You know, is addressing the homeless issue more important than providing funding to help fight against, oh crap, I forget what it's called now, it's so late. But basically where people are ripping you off over the phone or whatever. Fraud. Well, not fraud, no. Scams. Okay, so which one's more important? If you determine housing is more important, they say, you know, then we can cut funding back on that program area. There's hundreds of thousands of programs out there within the state that some amounts can be pulled from once we determine what are we looking at on this side. So instead of just taxpayers covering the entire burden of all of this, maybe we should look at some of the ways that we could help offset the cost by looking at government programs also.
I got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Rodoni.
Thank